Okay, in this first example it says the picture shows the cable supports of a bridge. Determine the length of the longest cable. You know what? I should have made that picture a little longer, with the bridge going this way. Maybe a little truck on it, something like that. Would have made it a little nicer for you guys. Does that look like a truck? I don't know. Does it look like a bug? Maybe a hat? I don't know. Anyway, so there's our bridge. And it says find out the longest cable. So that would be this cable right here. Okay? And I can see that that actually forms a right triangle. And there's my little box saying, hey, this is a right triangle. Now, for this one, they've given us the side of each of the legs. One of them is 212 feet, and the other one's 478 feet. Okay? And they want us to find the length of the longest cable. I'm going to call that C. Okay? So I'm going to remember Pythagoras' theorem. He said that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. And you know what? I should have put in this example, it should have said round to nearest, you know what, I'm going to erase this for the moment. Okay, round to nearest tenth. How about that? Okay, so I'm going to go back. I remember Pythagoras' theorem. It's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm going to fill in what I know. I know that one of the legs, and it doesn't matter which, I could call this A and this B. I could call the other one A and B. It doesn't matter. But C is different. The hypotenuse is always, whatever they call it, they can call it, whatever. I don't care. They can call it G, X, I, whatever. The hypotenuse is always the side that's by itself. The legs are on the other side. Okay? So, I'm going to get 212 squared plus 478 squared is equal to c squared. Now in the end, I don't want to know what c squared equals. I want to know what c equals. But I'll get to that in a moment. So I'm going to get my old trusty calculator out. I hope you've got your old trusty calculator out. And I'm going to do 212 squared and hit enter. Now guys, I'm not going to try and punch all this in at one time because I can make a lot of mistakes that way. I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to write down each thing that I get. And that's 44,944. And then I'm going to get my calculator again, and a new problem. I'm going to do 478 squared, and that's going to give me 228,484, and that equals c squared. Now I'm going to add these two together, and I'm going to get 273,428 is equal to c squared. Now guys, I don't want to know what c squared equals. I want to know what c equals. And you're going to see something pretty interesting. Remember, this is algebra. So if I don't want to know what c squared equals, I'm going to take the square root of it to turn it into c, right? The square root of c squared is c, because it says what number multiplied by itself gives me c squared. Well, c does. But if I take the square root of one side, I have to take the square root of the other. Okay, and then I'm going to get my trusty out. Here we go. Square root 273,428. I'm going to hit enter, and this is the number that I get. 522.9034328. But remember, it said round to the nearest tenth, so I'm going to put my gate around it there. I'm going to look right behind. I don't care what those say. Look right behind it. It says 0, so it's 522.9 feet. All right, so that's how long that cable is. And so Pythagoras lets us figure out how long that cable is without actually having to put someone at the top of that tower with a cable and stretch it out as far as they need to. Okay? All right, guys, good job. See you at example 2.